Wrestling Rundown, episode 82, and we've got another rousing installment of the meh week wrap-up. Because once again, we were left with no NXT. Unless you count the fact that we, never before seen, we saw Apollo Crews beat Ty Dillinger.
A portion of it.
But we've seen that before.
Not even the whole match. Again, a portion.
And then on top of that, Hulu decided to crap out on us, so we didn't even get to see the end of the main event of main event, but we'll talk about the rest of the stuff that happened. We had the Social Outcasts do a little promo at the beginning. This was probably the most interesting thing, is that they did a opening promo deal at the beginning of main event, where Social Outcast came out, Heath Slater said his thing, Adam Rose got weird, Curtis Axel was angry, Bo Dallas is Bo Dallas.
And right before Heath Slater is about to leave, they get interrupted by the Usos, who they talked about momentarily, because the Social Outcasts gave away that in the main event of main event, they're going to be facing the Usos in a tag team match.
Yeah, saying that they have a lot of stress built up because of
the Abyss.
Yeah. They have a lot of stress built up over what they haven't been doing lately.
We have a lot of stress from the nothing we've been doing.
And so they're going to take it out on the Usos, and the Usos are like, oh, you're going to take it out on us, blah, blah, blah. Started calling them Twitter fingers, because they're doing the hashtag Social Outcast. Then they get in the ring, and then fucking Curtis Axel just punches the Usos in the face.
Yeah, he was not happy. He was pacing and being aggressive.
He was freaking Heath Slater out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think they were all freaking Heath Slater out.
That's true.
It's weird, because I think Bo Dallas was the one that was doing the least freaking out of Heath Slater.
That's because he was just kind of being him.
Dallas really isn't that freaky.
Adam Rose is... That was another funny thing.
Adam Rose is clingy.
Adam Rose realized that he didn't need the glasses because he has 20/20 vision. So they end up pulling Axel off.
That means he can see what in 4 years into the future.
I see what you did there.
2016 joke.
Then our first match, we had Titus O'Neil defeat Stardust again. Then we had a short but decent match between Zack Ryder and Tyler Breeze. Whereas Zack Ryder was running things for a minute. Tyler Breeze was able to get out of the way of the Broski boot. And then Zack Ryder was getting ready to... He set up for a 10 punch. Got to about 4. Breeze was able to slide through his legs, shove his legs through the turnbuckle.
Ooh.
And then...
you gotta be careful when you're doing that.
And then he actually did the double underhook, pulled him out, and hit the Unprettier, and Tyler Breeze picked up the win. And then in the main event, which I found online, the Usos defeated the Social Outcasts with their roll-up. And they went against Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
Yes. Axel had some aggression to get out.
So yeah, that was it for main event.
I got a request. Can we knock off the Titus O'Neil Stardust now?
Yeah, let's. That's twice.
This is a weird thing that started with Titus O'Neil just kind of interrupting Stardust's promos.
It started just before Christmas.
Gone absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, it started just before Christmas, and it hasn't gone anywhere. Anyway, yeah, let's stop that. Let's stop these best of NXT things because we want to talk about NXT. But since we have all this extra time, let's kind of talk NXT because as we mentioned on the Raw review, there were recent signings to WWE with main roster and NXT implications here. We had AJ Styles, Carl Machine Gun Anderson, Doc Gallows, and Shinsuke Nakamura all get signed from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
And so we have, we're gearing up for the Rumble, which is always full of surprise entrances. NXT has been getting people like James Storm and Samoa Joe and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. So there's all these chances for these random faces to pop up.
Yeah, I think specifically this year, we're only going to get one.
You're thinking AJ.
I'm thinking AJ Styles, but I'm only thinking just one because I think with the fact that the implications this year that the title is on the line, you're going to see more of the main roster superstars are all clamoring to get into the Royal Rumble at this point, because usually it's just for a shot at the title if you win.
Yeah,
this
is
one,
actually
if you win,
for the title.
you get the title.
Yeah,
which then
for those of you that didn't watch Raw.
Yeah, it guarantees you go into WrestleMania as the champion, basically.
Yeah, so yeah, there's way more implications here, and we haven't got official confirmation on these signings, but after the initial report, which came out the day after Wrestle Kingdom,
well, it happened
I guess
right after Wrestle Kingdom.
I guess
when the announcement
I guess they told before Wrestle Kingdom started, all four guys told New Japan that they were getting signed by WWE and that they were going to be leaving.
Says the reports.
And then we also had
WWE posted an article almost directly after all the wrestling
the
news
initial,
sites.
Yeah, the initial wave of did they get signed? They got signed. Are they signed? They didn't get signed. Blah blah blah.
WWE did it.
Yeah, WWE posted a thing talking about each one of these guys individual.
Yeah, they're like, New Japan invading WWE basically?
Yeah.
Talking about that. Balor has history with New Japan, and he was the leader of the Bullet Club, and so he knows Gallows, and he knows Anderson, and he knows AJ Styles. Nakamura is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of glossed over him, but basically saying that he's one of the most popular independent wrestlers outside of the United States.
Yes. They also mentioned that Doc Gallows was formerly Luke Gallows, who wrestled with WWE from 2007 to about 2012. And then there
Festus, baby.
Yeah, they called him Luke Gallows. He ain't Festus no more. And then they also, they mentioned Machine Gun Carl Anderson being the tag team of Gallows.
I like that they tried to tie everybody in somehow, because they mentioned that Carl Anderson teamed with A-Train.
Yeah, when he was
Giant Bernard.
Yeah, Giant Bernard when he was in New Japan.
Yeah, but they call him by his new
Matt
Bloom. His new name.
His new name that he hasn't had for 40 some years. Yeah. No.
Well, he hasn't had it for the last 20.
That's true.
He's been Albert and A-Train and.
So yeah, and then not only that, but today they posted. Do you remember when AJ Styles made his first WWE debut? And it was a match on Velocity against Hurricane.
I remember that match, actually.
I didn't know who AJ Styles was at that point, so I didn't remember that. Actually, Shane Helms actually posted it on his Facebook today. That's where I saw it.
To add more fuel to the fire, Finn Balor posted a picture of himself waiting outside the Performance Center. He's holding the door open.
Here's the picture right here if we're able to bring it up.
He's holding the door open. He's wearing a Bullet Club T-shirt and he's checking his watch. I think the caption down at the bottom says
they should have been here by now.
They should have been here by now. It's that moment when you're waiting for your buddies to show up at the Performance Center, but they had to stop and sign their contracts first.
And there's there are a lot of other things that could mean that they are coming, because at the Korakuen Hall event after Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks kicked AJ Styles out of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we had Gallows and Anderson drop the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Titles at Wrestle Kingdom. So they're definitely the only thing different is that Nakamura kept the Intercontinental title.
Yes.
At Wrestle Kingdom. That's the only thing that's really holding any of these rumors back from being completely true, because he's still champion.
Well, and it's another thing. It's a lot like, I feel like, when Del Rio got signed, still working for AAA.
He was still AAA champion.
Yeah. So I think it's the same thing, is that New Japan is going to get to use Nakamura until he drops the championship.
Yeah. And and now not only do we have, we're building up for Rumble, which is the road to WrestleMania. We've got all these new names coming out, but we also have injuries throughout WWE.
Yeah, injuries. It's one thing. There's been times when 2 or 3 people have gotten hurt, and we make the joke, oh, there's the injury plague, the injury bug is going around. Oh, it's funny.
It's real this time.
This is the WWE roster, Next week, everyone wrestling should have like bubble wrap and helmets on.
They should all wrestle in those giant sumo suits.
No, those are dangerous. No, true story. I have a friend who broke his leg in one of those.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. Well, don't do that, WWE. The most recent injury is we found out today through his Twitter and through WWE that on Thursday, well, actually, that'll be the day that you're watching this, the day that it goes up, John Cena is having shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
So
For a possibly torn rotator cuff, they're hoping it's not that severe.
But he
posted on Twitter that he's going to be gone for a long time.
Yeah, he's expecting to be gone for a while, and with if it is a torn rotator cuff, that's 4 to 6 months at least.
Yeah, so I mean that's big implications not only for the Royal Rumble but also WrestleMania because John Cena is one of the top draws every year for WrestleMania.
He's been at WrestleMania for the last
ever
11 years, 12. This will be 12 years, I think. No, it'd be 13 because he didn't wrestle at 19.
Yeah, he appeared at 19.
But yeah, he's appeared at every WrestleMania since WrestleMania 19. So to have WrestleMania 32,
I will guarantee you if he's not wrestling, he'll still make an appearance at WrestleMania.
Oh, I'm sure any of these guys that are hurt, they will at least show up in some capacity. Let's go into that thing that we just found out not too long before we started recording this, is that every champion from WrestleMania 31, anyone who had a belt at WrestleMania 31 is currently injured. We had Daniel Bryan from the ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
We had the tag team champions of Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
They won.
We had the U.S. champion, John Cena. We had the Divas champion, Nikki Bella. And we had the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins.
Yeah. On top of that, all those people are injured right now. On top of that, this year, so many people have been injured.
There was 9 people that were in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal are hurt with Sin Cara, Hideo Itami, Ryback got hurt. We had Eric Rowan get hurt. There's so many people.
Yeah, Rusev was injured earlier this year.
Sting is currently injured.
Sting's injured. The only match at all that no one had injuries from, like, within the year span was Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker, with the exception, if you remember, that even Wyatt was rumored to have an injured shoulder and why he was sitting out for so long.
And he had an ankle thing during the match, too, that he was wearing a brace backstage.
Sprained ankle.
So, 2015 has just been an unbelievable year for injuries.
And it's not looking good for 2016 because, I mean, you can say, like, oh, yeah, Connor's jaw hurts.
Yeah.
Hideo Itami's shoulder is injured.
But Hideo should be coming back pretty soon now.
But you look at those and you go, okay, those are injuries. What does that do? Not much as far as WWE's where they stand.
Yeah.
But it's when you already have Randy Orton injured, Sting's injured, Seth Rollins is injured.
Now
and you're taking out John Cena.
Yeah.
You're talking like 4 of the top guys that WWE can use to draw for WrestleMania, period, gone. With really, out of those 4, the only one that has a possible chance of coming back pre-Mania, it looks like, is going to be Randy Orton.
And that's probably not even a guarantee at all because he, after his shoulder, he was having something wrong with his neck. So it's just like every month it's just more and more like WWE is going through some sort of change here. I don't know if it could be for the better because this is a great time for these other stars. I mean, you look at main event. We had the Social Outcasts who haven't had TV time in forever. You had a decent match between Tyler Breeze and Zack Ryder who never sees TV time. Stardust is starting to become a main person on TV. You're getting these younger stars are getting a shot at the unfortunate chance that all of this star power is being taken away. And WWE is like spinning its wheels here. It's like tries to gain some traction, and then something happens and throws it off again.
Yeah, they're really trying to. It's the spaghetti method. They're throwing new things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
True.
Because, I mean, you can tell they're really trying to push Titus O'Neil.
Yes. They've been trying to do that for a few months now.
And, you know, they tried with Swagger. They're doing a brand new thing with the Social Outcasts, bringing these 4 guys together. And, you know, they gave them their start on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, the fact that they started on Raw...
with a win over Dolph Ziggler.
Yes. That means a lot for these guys. And they really need... Here's one thing that I love is, like, me, personally, I don't know how you feel about it, but I love stable warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have a ton of stables, or a ton of groups, that could potentially face each other on the main roster. With the Social Outcasts, the New Day, the League of Nations, the Cosmic Wasteland. You've got these. You're starting to get these groupings of people. You got the Roman Empire, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, for me, the problem I'm having with it right now is that none of these stables have more than 4 people maximum.
True.
And I think at this point now it's getting too cluttered. If you're talking groups of more than 2, is that you start getting too many people affiliated with groups, and it kind of gets like, okay, when you have like a stable feud, it's usually 1 stable versus 1 stable.
Mm-hmm.
And then those 2 stables are going to have this going on, and the rest of the stables are going to get kind of swept by the wayside. I think what they should do is sort of back burner somebody and build up a stable to 5 people.
Okay.
I think we need a 5-person stable. We need what... I want to say that the Social Outcasts should do it. I also want to say the Wyatt family should do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like we need someone to kind of do what the Nexus should have done.
Is just run
and
through
been more
everybody.
More roughshod. And now it's going to be really hard to build one of these stables like that, because at this point we don't have any top guys for stables to go after.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have the people in the championship storyline, but, you know, attacking Roman Reigns, you know, a group attacking Roman Reigns doesn't achieve the ooh-ah as a group attacking John Cena, or a group attacking Sting, or a group attacking Seth Rollins, who, you know, had the highest year of all time last year.
2015... 2014, up until the point of him getting injured in 2015, Seth Rollins was on top of the fucking world.
Yeah, so, you know, I feel it's good. And some stables, too, like groups who were put together out of necessity. Like, the only reason why there was a group like Reigns, Ambrose, and the Usos together were only there because there was another group coming after Roman Reigns.
Right.
So, you know, I feel like now that the League of Nations isn't even like a fully functioning 4-person stable anymore because Wade Barrett's hurt,
mm-hmm.
that, you know, we have seen that Roman Reigns, Ambrose, and the Usos have been separated again.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that could be a good thing for groups like the Social Outcasts and the Wyatt family.
Yeah, you know, and I'm thinking back to, like, you know, late Attitude Era, where you have DX, you have the Nation, you have the Ministry, you have the Corporation, you have the Job Squad. Eventually, you had the Union, you had the Brood break off from. You know, having little factions is cool sometimes. You know, keeping it to a few guys isn't necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, I see what you mean, having just 2 specific
and
like
that's
groups going against each other.
When you had the Corporation and the Ministry, you had 2 large groups.
Yes.
That you could say, like, you could almost, like, tier it like a card, where you'd have like these two groups, they'd be the main event wrestlers.
Yeah.
And then if you considered like groups like the Nation of Domination and Degeneration X could be like the mid-card guys of the thing, you know? If they were... The large number of stables works if you have two stables being the main story.
Right. Yeah. So
because if you have 6 stables all feuding with each other, but they're each only getting 5 minutes at a time, then it's kind of like, what's going to happen? Because then you're saying, okay, these two stables, you guys get 5 minutes on TV. These two stables, you guys get 6 minutes on TV. These two stables, you guys get 8 minutes on TV. So you're collectively giving 40 guys 40 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and this is like, especially if, you know, especially with the fact that they don't have their star power, they really need to start utilizing all of the TV time that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, if you count Superstars and Main Event as extra hours of TV, you've got 7 hours of television that you can use to your full advantage to get so many people over. Yeah. And, you know, you have, you know, this week you have SmackDown moving to USA. You know, which is going to be really weird because John Cena's going to be on it and then he's not going to be around anymore. So use Raw for your main storyline. Use SmackDown for your mid-card storyline. Use main event and Superstars for your undercard storyline, and then bring them all together at a pay-per-view. I mean, they didn't even have that much TV time back during the Attitude Era, and fucking everybody was over.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to see so many people not being used when you have so much extra time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, WWE is just
it's a new machine.
Yeah.
From what it was back then. Now it's more about the dollar figures.
True.
Then it was about ratings because they had competition to beat.
Right.
Now there's no competition to beat, so it's all about the dollar sign.
Yeah. And you know, and we'd love that Lucha Underground or TNA or Ring of Honor could be a challenge to WWE, but they don't have the power, they don't have the TV time to.
Everyone has the potential to be the second best.
Yes.
But no one has the potential to give WWE a run for their money.
No, because WWE has too much money.
And, I mean, that being said, WWE is keeping themselves nested on top.
Yeah.
By doing things like, oh, what can we do now? Let's hire Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
A guy who's a big draw to an independent promotion. Oh, let's get AJ Styles, another guy who's a big draw to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Mm-hmm. Like, let's handpick these top guys to help keep us on top. Because even if you hire somebody like AJ Styles,
yeah,
and then sleep on him, let him sit for a year at home doing nothing and just paying him, you're putting yourself in the advantage because no one else gets AJ Styles.
True.
You know, so you can have 100 guys and barely be using them at all, but you're still going to be doing better than everyone else because, you know, they don't have Samoa Joe anymore. TNA doesn't get Samoa Joe. Ring of Honor doesn't get AJ Styles.
Yeah.
We're pulling all these pieces in that are going to just make us money.
Yeah. And, you know, just kind of stem off here, we did have a lot of people show up at TNA over the weekend, or over the week. We had Michael Bennett and Maria make their debut. We saw Shinron from Chikara show up. I mean, James Storm ended up going back and said that him and Bobby Roode are going to team up as beer money for their one-night-only pay-per-view that's coming up this week. Like, there's a lot of rumblings now that TNA has switched to another channel. Like,
yeah, it's Pop.
Yeah,
Pop.
Yeah, Impact on Pop or whatever. So
I think Ring of Honor is going to that station too.
Well, they're on Comet.
Oh, they're on Comet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I don't think Destination America has either of those shows anymore. I think they've officially moved on to Pop and Comet. Yeah. Which are 2 other channels that we've never fucking heard of.
Kudos, other channels.
Yeah, good on you. So, like...
Unkudos to Destination America for not realizing it's actually kind of cool to have wrestling on your TV station.
Fuck you.
And you too, Shane.
Stick with your... Stick with your fucking Grillmaster bullshit.
Oh, Grillmasters.
That was always on after Impact. That during the summer when I had that stint of watching Impact, that was the other commercial that was on.
I've gone on a while now.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't give us stuff to talk about, WWE.
Yeah. Well,
we analyze.
If you followed us this long, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.
And click all those links down in the description
for
links. Other ways to get a hold of us, other ways to get your news. There's all kinds of stuff that's been posted on the Facebook. You got Instagram where we do daily pictures Monday through Friday. I got Twitters where you'll get updates from videos, personal messages, what have you. We've got emails that you can get a hold of all of us. And we have a podcast for those of you that want to listen to us and not see our faces.
If you listen to the podcast, check out the video.
So you can see our faces. Or this creepy setup that we have in the ring.
They are pretty. Pretty like the anglerfish.
Oh, those things are...
A rainbow of ugly.
Those things are ugly. Also, check out the playlist. It's over on the other side of Kevin Hawk.
Oh, there it is.
There's a Raw review there. Raw was pretty good. There's this. Up next will be the first SmackDown on USA. And then we'll be having some indie news. Talking about some upcoming...
I think it being the first SmackDown on USA, it lost a little bit of luster when they did SmackDown on USA like 2 weeks ago. When they did it live.
I think that was the test of it, though.
Yeah. It was because so they could have Christmas off.
Yeah.
Or so you didn't have to watch SmackDown on Christmas.
Or so whatever. We can have Christmas off.
Yeah, but I just think it's kind of like, well, I'd be more excited for it being the first one on SmackDown if it hadn't just happened.
Okay, but the first official weekly episodic SmackDown on USA.
Now USA is going to have both the number 1 and number 2 longest running episodic programs on television.
Yeah. Let's hope that WWE fucking does something with that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Bye.